Hello, we are live. A very warm welcome to the Aviators South Africa and St. Helena members live stream. This is our first members live stream, and we are extremely happy to have you here. Today, I am with Warwick in our virtual studio, also known as our home studio. And it's great to be with you, Warwick. It's such a nice sunny Sunday in South Africa at the moment. I'm not sure what the weather's looking like in St. Helena, but I suspect it's probably very windy. So today we're going to give you a quick kind of members update, and then we're going to be taking you through a few stories that are happening around South Africa and the world, actually. So we are going to start off by, of course, mentoring African Pilot Magazine. A very special thank you to them. So the Aviators South Africa is in association with African Pilot Magazine. Visit their website and subscribe to Africa's finest aviation magazine at www.africanpilot.co.za. The Aviators St. Helena is produced in partnership with St. Helena Airport Limited. To find out more about St. Helena's airport, visit www.sthelena.airport.com. To find out more about St. Helena tourism opportunities, visit the St. Helena Tourism website at www.sthelena.tourism.com. So we are now going to begin with a very short members update. And this members update is here to inform you about some changes that are happening with the Aviators South Africa and St. Helena membership. So essentially, instead of having our weekly extra episode, which we were doing for quite a while, it became very difficult to do all the editing, and we didn't have as much demand for it as our other videos. So it became a bit of a waste of time to be producing a video a week when there wasn't as much demand to compensate for the editing. However, we are going to still bring you members content. The membership fee is going to remain at 65 Rand. There will be a fortnightly members live stream like this one today. And normally it won't really have an update per se, but rather a chat about an aviation discussion or a bit of behind the scenes work, etc. So the Aviators South Africa and St. Helena membership is for 65 Rand, and it's going to be a fortnightly members live stream. You would have also noticed that the Aviators newsletter is also fortnightly at the moment. It just assists us in terms of timing, etc. And we will be sending one of those out to you. We have migrated to a WhatsApp-based newsletter, as we have found that it's a lot easier to read and a lot more accessible to people as opposed to email. So we're going to give you a quick St. Helena aviation update. We recently released a video, the Aviators St. Helena Ep.2. If you watched it, apologies for the noise. If you did watch it, great, thank you. But there was an issue in the episode. We had a technical issue towards the end where for some reason the audio didn't quite match the video. And as a result, there was no conclusion to the video. As you would have noticed, we've taken the video down, and as a result, we'll be updating it this evening and putting it back on YouTube. So that was just a small technical blunder. The Aviators St. Helena is going to be working with St. Helena Tourism and St. Helena Airport Limited to provide you with St. Helena content. When I say St. Helena Tourism, we are going to actually show you St. Helena itself, show you some footage, explain the tourism opportunities, show you some tourist attractions, etc. So our very own James Kellett, who's the compliance manager at the airport, is willing to give us some extra special footage for the Aviator St. Helena of his walks around the island, showing the terrain and etc. So Warwick, I'm going to hand over to you to give us our daily dose of aviation news.
Thank you, Kabir. And I'd like to start off with, South Africa's COMAC. And they are currently hoping that they'll be flying by December, sorry. Apologies. And, I guess this is a very interesting take, because they were originally going to be flying, I think, from September, and then they moved to October. And then for the past few months, they've been saying that they'll be flying this November, and then now they've said that they're going to be flying in December, and hopefully this is their last extension on the due date of when they're going to be flying. And I think it's going to be exciting to see them back in the skies, and I think also with the travel demands increasing rapidly in South Africa currently at the moment, because we've just gone into or interprovincial is allowed now. So I think people are going to be doing it, traveling a lot more. Yeah.
Yes, and obviously we all hope that South Africa's Comair is going to be in a good position, and a favorable position, because for them it's really critical that they get in the skies as soon as possible. Airplanes on the ground aren't making any money whatsoever, and it's very difficult for Comair because they're in this weird position. And I was sitting outside in my garden today, and for the first time, I've seen proper aircraft flying. And I saw a Mango aircraft and a Fly Sapphire aircraft, etc. But for the first time, I mean, my house is situated on an air route. I haven't seen a Comair plane, and it's quite sad to actually see how this is all playing out. And it's really sad to really just see why this has all happened, because we think this deadly disease, which we had no predictions, we couldn't even see it was coming, has just ripped apart the whole aviation industry. And also they have now received funding, Comair, which is great for the airline. And so we just hope really that, December is their last extension. And if possible, they may even be flying before December. Warwick?
That is a good point. And also, I think it's also quite exciting, the fact that they will be, flying in December. And as you were saying, it's very sad not to see Comair aircraft in the sky. My house, as it turns out, is also based on an air route. And, it's very sad to see, because often I'm sitting out in the garden, and normally 1 in every 4 aircraft at least is a Comair aircraft, whether it be Helena or British Airways. But now I'm not seeing any Comair aircraft, and I'm only seeing, as you said, Fly Sapphire and Mango. Today I saw an SA Express aircraft, which I haven't seen yet out of lockdown. So it's very sad, and hopefully it could be, a big start and get them going again. And also, as you said, receiving funding is a great step for them. And now I'd like to move on to why the Boeing 777X has folding wingtips. And, it's a very nice plane and it looks very attractive, but everybody's been thinking, why actually does a 777X have folding wingtips? And to be fair, it's actually a great question. And I think the one reason is, if you call them the class of aircraft, in terms of airport access, you can't, a 777X has to fit into the larger aircraft category, such as it fits in with the 747, it fits in with the A380, all the aircraft with much larger wingspans, which means that the parking cost is more expensive and things like that. But if they can fold the wingtips up when they land, it will save the airlines a lot of money, and it can save them so much money in the fact that they don't have to pay for massive parking areas, and they can actually fit into a parking spot which is usually designed for, say, a 787 or that range of aircraft, A350. Kabir?
Yes, that's true. And just to quickly put into perspective, the 777X is Boeing's brand new aircraft based off the initial 777. But another great thing is the 777X, for instance, with its big wingspan, which really helps in terms of fuel efficiency and environmental saving and cost in terms of fuel and overall carbon emissions. The reason it has those big wings is for that reason. However, the thing is, with those big wings, it currently couldn't fit into airports such as Durban's King Shaka International Airport, Cape Town possibly, And the truth is, these coastal airports in South Africa are a lot smaller and have less capacity than the bigger ones like OR Tambo International Airport. So having the folding wingtips not only allows for them to save in terms of where they have to park, but also opens up airlines to a brand new route network, which I think is truly great. And we're going to see the 777X has gone on a few test flights, and we're going to just have to wait and see what its future holds. And I'm now going to move on to something extremely sad. And British Airways International has scrapped its High Life magazine after half a century. Now, British Airways, flag carrier of the United Kingdom, has a magazine, an in-flight magazine. And I know you're probably thinking, Kabir, why are you so obsessed with an in-flight magazine? Why is this such sad news? Well, British Airways High Life magazine has truly become a status. In South Africa's Comair, I know once they started giving those magazines at the Slow Lounge, that's really when that was a mistake on Comair's part, because a lot of people started taking them home. The High Life features very interesting editorial articles, sightseeing advice, and general interesting perspective from people who work at the airline. Now there's High Life South Africa, which is the Comair, the Comair section, and the Comair, division of British Airways, essentially. And then there's British Airways High Life, which in my opinion isn't as good as the Comair version. But nonetheless, this is being retired, and they're moving on with the digital trend. I think this is a great idea. And I really think so, because, COVID has struck and it's made the airline move with the times. But at the same time, it's very sad. Warwick?
Yes, it is very sad, as you said, in the way that they're going to have to be moving on to online. But in some respects, I mean, British Airways, to be fair to them, aren't the most environmentally conscious. They are very environmentally friendly conscious. And so I think moving on to digital and stopping printing paper will also build them a bit of a reputation, if you know what I mean. So I think that will really help their reputation, and also it will stop people from taking them home, as you said, from the slow lounges and everything like that. But I'd now like to move on to Kenya Airways. And Kenya Airways are looking to retire some of their leased aircraft early. And, this is also very sad because it's showing that they're not getting much demand, which, to be fair, is not expected because of COVID and everything with that. But currently, I mean, they're also looking at transforming some of their Boeing 787 aircraft into freighter aircraft. Well, that's East African carrier. Sorry, apologies for that mistake. Kabir?
Yes, it's very concerning to see this Kenya Airways issue, because Kenya Airways is one of one of Africa's most successful airlines. And it's really scary, because what is the future holding for South Africa's aviation industry, and more broadly speaking, Africa's aviation industry? And if you would like to find out more about that, iFly's Derek Nseko, who we work closely with here at the Aviators South Africa, has performed a number of TV interviews on CNBC about the future of Africa's aviation industry. And it's very sad, because we're seeing, Comair are really desperate, struggling. We are seeing that Kenya Airways are returning these leased aircraft. But at the same time, Kenya Airways are really just pulling it through, making ends meet with their cargo division, because they are changing their passenger aircraft into cargo. Warwick?
Yes, and over the course of April and July, Kenya Airways have transported over 10,000 tons of cargo, and they estimate the movement of 720,000 kilograms of cargo, and over 8,000 passengers in their first week of resumption. And I think this is very, very interesting, and how they've transported so much cargo over the course. And it's not like you'd expect them to be very busy, but they've been using the time constructively and been using the time so cleverly, and actually they've been transporting so much cargo. And for it's not the largest airline in the world. I mean, if you compare it to much smaller airlines, I mean much bigger airlines like British Airways.
Warwick, I think your connection is just dropping out at the moment. But your point is very interesting and it's very fair. And I think that's a very good point when you compare them to other airlines. But we would like to thank everybody for joining us at the Aviators South Africa and St. Helena live stream. We have many more videos planned, and we have a lot more live streams planned as well, where we'll take you more in depth on stories, have a bit of a behind the scenes look. But for now, we hope that you've enjoyed this. Please go check out our Aviators St. Helena episode 2 video once it's come out. Stay safe. Visit the www.sacoronaviruswebsite.co.za website, rather, if you're feeling any symptoms and you live in South Africa. So stay safe and stay home. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Also, if you do have any queries, send us an email at theaviatorsouthafrica@gmail.com. Stay safe and happy flying.